See, I thought that commercial was a Twix.
Yeah, no, that's a different part. Different part. I think it's probably time.
Past time I was late.
I'm sorry. And I'm the one wanting to get out of here. All right, if I can have your attention, please, we will call the Troy City Council meeting for October the 23rd, 2018 to order. If you will all please rise with us for a brief invocation and then our pledge. If you'll bow your heads, dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to represent the city of Troy and our constituents. We come before you with humble hearts for this opportunity to do so. Please lead us and guide us in everything we say and do and make it be pleasing unto your sight. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. If you'll face the flag, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. It is a great honor and pleasure to have this many of our young people here that drown us out when they're saying the pledge. We would love to have that at every one of our meetings, so thank y'all, and thank you for speaking out when you do that. If the clerk will note that all of our members are present, we do not have any committee reports this evening. Council, you have the minutes of the previous meeting in front of you. If there are no additions or corrections to those, a motion to approve is in order. So moved. By Mr. Meeks, seconded by? Second. Mr. Jones, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. And thank you for that extra vote out there. I appreciate it. I might need you a little bit later in the evening. If I give you a nod, you go right ahead, okay? Thank you. One of our times that we have in a meeting is coming up where our colleague, our previous colleague, is here with Charlie's Angels, and they've got some important business to take care of. And Mr. Sarge, if you would please come forward. The floor is yours for Charlie's Angels.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Take over. Come on. Put my buddy there. All right. First of all, I want to give a couple of words of thanks to the mayor and council for giving us this opportunity. And we also want to thank you all for your support. And not only here, but throughout Pike County and other countries, other cities have helped us to do what we are getting ready to do tonight. We couldn't do it without y'all's help. Thank you. The first ticket goes to Charles Henson Middle School. Just keep your seat and raise your hand. They will bring it to you. Thank you, thank you. Next one is Charles Henderson School, GROTC, for $1,000. I forgot to say, the first check was $200. The next one is Banks Middle School, $200. Goshen High School, $1,000. That's GROTC. The next was Goshen Elementary School, $200. Raise your hand if you're here. Now, if y'all don't want that, we'll keep it. Okay, next one is Pike Liberard School, Pike Live, $1,000. You got away where we couldn't get to you. Next is Pike County High School, GROTC. There you go. The next was Pike County Elementary School, $200. Troy Elementary School, $200. New Life Christian School, $200. I don't think it's anybody here. He got it. His grandson goes to that school. Next is OCAP.
There she is.
$100.
Thank you.
Nothing, the other one for OCAP.
She's kidding.
Well, she all goes to her.
I run that thing now. Don't just forget that.
Another OCAP. That's what you get for being good.
That's right.
Covenant Christian School. Pike County School for Technology. No, I keep this one. I thought I'll get the one that they didn't want. Okay. Well, that take care of us. We'll get out of y'all's way. Thank y'all very much. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you all.
You're still the best grade.
That's right, no doubt, no doubt.
It's nice to see you in council chambers, Sarge.
No, you're fine.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Sarge. We appreciate you.
Once again, we thank Sarge Dunn and Charlie's Angels for doing that and coming to the council meeting to hand out those checks to our schools and to the ROTC programs. Sarge thanked us for what we do, but we really thank him and his organization for what they do. So thank you. The next item of business on our agenda is an off-premise only retail beer license for Brown's Country Mart. And Mr. Grubbs, if you're here, if you'll come forward, Mr. Meeks, will you handle this on our agenda, please?
Yes, sir. This is Mr. Grubbs, Norman Grubbs. He is opening up in the old Brown's Country Mart store.
Yes, sir.
It's GNN LLC. He is asking for a Class 50 retail beer on-premise only license and also a 990 tobacco only. Can you tell us what you plan on doing, Mr. Grubbs?
Well, I just plan on opening a convenience store at this time. Later on, I plan to have gas, but right now it's just going to be a convenience store. It's been closed for some time now, so I just look forward to starting the business and serving the community.
Well, Mr. Grubbs, you got Tammy from here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're glad to have you come back and branch out and open up a business in this area. Now, the city of Troy, police department, state troopers and all the county, proud of selling beer to minors. So you know you will be checked occasionally just to make sure that you're not doing that, and I know you will abide by the law.
Yes, sir.
And we hope so. With that, I do make a motion that we approve this license.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve the license. Is there a second?
Second.
By Ms. Baker. Any other questions or comments regarding? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the license is approved. Thank you, Mr. Grubbs. All right, the next item of business for the council is Resolution 2019-1, which is the adoption of procedures for issuing of licenses related to alcohol. And just so everyone is aware, the only thing we were doing here is trying to become more uniform in our procedure so that hopefully we are not approving licensing pending things being, later approved, such as issues with the fire marshal, the building commissioner, and the police department. We want all that done up front and completed before you come before the council. I want to thank the council for their input on this, and the clerk for drafting it, and our city attorney for looking it over. Mayor, I hope this comes with your approval with the action that we're going to take. And with that, is there a motion from the floor to approve, or any questions or comments regarding Resolution 2019-1?
Just a comment that
Yes,
we
ma'am.
make sure that this document is given to whomever has them. Okay, when they come in and get a copy, okay? That's it.
All
So
right.
moved.
We have a motion from Ms. Moultrie. Is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Meeks. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is unanimously approved. Thank you. Next item of business is Resolution 2019-3, which is a municipal judge appointment. This community and our city has had the pleasure of Mr. Matthew Baker serving as the municipal judge for the city of Troy. It is a part-time position, so therefore must be reappointed every 2 years. That appointment will come about before our next meeting. So tonight, we do have a resolution 2019-3. Be it resolved by the council of the city of Troy, Alabama, that Matthew Baker is hereby appointed to serve as judge for the city of Troy Municipal Court, and be it further resolved by the council of the city of Troy, Alabama, that the term of office shall be for a 2-year period. If there are no questions or comments regarding this appointment, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Mr. Meeks, seconded by Ms. Moultrie. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Ms. Moultrie helped me out tonight.
We have 4 affirmative votes and 1 abstention on this appointment. And with that, the appointment is made. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Baker, for being here. Is there anything you would like to say to the council, or?
Thank you all very much, and hopefully I can continue to do a halfway decent job and get appointed again in 2 years.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate it. All right. The next item of business on our agenda is Resolution 2019-4, which is a budget amendment. And Mayor, if you'll give us a description of the budget amendment, please.
Yeah, this just this takes funds from one fund and moves them into the debt service fund to free up money for the general fund, which I believe will. The projections show with this budget amendment approval surplus of about $1.5 million. So that's I did not include it in the original budget, but I would ask that you approve this amendment, and then of course that money cannot be spent without the council's approval.
Any questions or comments from the council to the mayor on Resolution 2019-4? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Mr. Jones, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Moultrie. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is unanimously approved. Thank you. Thank you, council. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
The next item is resolution number 2019-5, which is a bid award for utility department vehicles. Mr. Chandler, if you would come forward, please, and give us a description of the bid.
Yes, sir. There are, 3 different vehicles that were covered in this bid that we sent out, 2 bucket trucks and 1 digger derrick truck. Just kind of go through the list of them. On the 50-foot squirt boom bucket truck, there were 3 bidders. The lowest overall bid was Terex Utilities. They meet specifications, and so we recommend that we award them the bid for this vehicle along with the trade-in of an existing vehicle. On the Digger Derrick truck, the lowest overall bid was Altech. However, they do not meet the lifting requirements that was listed in the specifications in the bid document. Therefore, we recommend that the bid award be to the next lowest bidder that did meet specifications, which is Terex Utilities. That number, the price on the first number, first truck, including the trade-in, was $175, $128 even. The second one for the Digger Derrick truck was $314,649. And then on the final truck, the 55-foot bucket truck, the lowest bid was also to Altech, but this truck also did not meet specifications, both on the part of the truck and part of the bucket itself. There was a list of several things that it did not meet specifications. The next lowest bid that did meet specifications was from Terex Utilities, and we also proposed to trade in an existing truck on this vehicle, and so we recommend that it be awarded to the Terex Utilities, the lowest bid meets specifications, along with the trade-in for a total price of $232,498.
All right, any questions or comments for Mr. Chandler regarding this bid? So the total of all three of these vehicles is $722,275. Is that correct?
That sounds right. That's what you're calculating.
And these funds are coming from?
The remaining utility bond funds that we purchased other vehicles out of previously. We're using up the rest of that money to purchase these.
Okay. Questions or comments for Mr. Chandler? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Ms. Moultrie, seconded by Mr. Jones. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is approved. And Mayor, I did forget to ask you if this did come with your approval.
It does.
Even after the fact, we like to hear that. All right, the next item on our agenda is Resolution 2019-6, which is a bid award for the Utility Department for fire retardant uniforms. Mr. Chandler?
Yes, sir. All the people that work in the electric department, whether it's in substations or power lines or pulling and working on setting meters or anything electrical, are required to wear these uniforms on a regular basis: pants, shirts, jackets, whatever. And so we previously bid this out. We didn't have any bidders that met the specifications. You rejected them, so we rebid it. This time we only had one bid from Affinity Apparel. They are our current supplier and have been for the past several years. We changed the bid to make it specific so that we could make sure that whoever bid met specifications. They do meet specifications, and so we recommend that we award the bid back to them for this apparel. Also, when comparing the numbers for the primary things that we buy a lot of shirts and pants of every year for the folks in the electric department, their pricing that they supplied in this bid is equal to what we have been paying. So pretty much we're going to get the same price on the major items going forward.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Chandler regarding this resolution? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Ms. Baker, seconded by?
Second.
Mr. Meeks. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is approved. Thank you. Next item is Resolution 2019-7, which is a bid award for right-of-way maintenance. Mr. Chandler?
Yes, sir. We have been using Aspen for our right-of-way maintenance, primarily for tree trimming on power lines for the past 3 years. That contract is ending at the end of this year, so bids were sent out for a new contract for that. We received 2 bids back, one from Aspen, again, who's doing it now and has been for the past 6 years, as well as from Alabama Power Company. They're branching out and using some of their forces and some of their contracts to do this type of work as well. The low bidder by a long shot was Aspen. We recommend that we award the bid to them. We've used them for, say, almost 6 years now, and they've done a good job. They've got some good crews here and have worked well with us. This is an increase over our existing pricing that we have been paying, but I got with the mayor when we did our budget, and the budget you approved planned for an increase in that right-of-way line item because we figured the price was going to go up since the one we've been working on was about 3 years old. So we anticipated that. with this contract starting in January, our budget should be able to handle this without any problem with the current number that's in there for this fiscal year.
All right, any questions or comments for Mr. Chandler?
Now, this is the cutting of the limbs that's over the power lines, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They also do other things, too, things that, large trees and other limbs
Can they
that,
cut one out my yard?
other things that are on the right of way that are too big to handle with our crews or environmental services. They also do other
They can't
things.
do that, I know.
Yeah, no. So they do other things besides doing on power lines. They do trees and limbs, and that's why we've done it on an hourly basis. So if they do something that's
Other than,
yes, ma'am, that it's covered under our contract.
thank you.
Mayor, I know this comes with your approval.
It does.
Thank you.
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms.
Second.
Moultrie to approve, seconded by Ms. Baker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is unanimously approved.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler.
Thank you. I will mention that since we've been doing this for almost 6 years, it has made a tremendous difference in tree and limb related outages in the city. That we've been able to stay on top of this as before we didn't when our crews weren't busy as they are. It's made a big difference, and so it's helped. So thank y'all very much.
Brian, can you, on a different note, can you give us an update on the crews at Quincy?
Yes, sir. Thank you. They all returned home about lunchtime today. Today was day 14 of them being gone. They spent the whole time in Quincy, Florida. As of yesterday and this morning, everybody in Quincy, Florida, their population is about half of what Troy is. Everybody whose home was not damaged and could have power turned back on did have power turned back on. So they worked hard down there for again, they've been gone 13 days. Tomorrow would have been 2 weeks. And worked daylight to dark in some tough conditions that they didn't always have a hotel room and they didn't always have a hot meal. But they worked safely and they did a good job of helping those folks out down there. And they, as you've seen on Facebook and news and internet and everywhere else, Florida and Georgia got hit really hard. So we were glad we were able to send a crew to help, and those folks down there desperately needed it. So they did a lot of good work down there, but they got back home around lunchtime today. So.
Thank
Can we
you.
applaud them, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Very
Yes, ma'am.
thankful for them and the families they left behind.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler. And thank you, council, for recognizing our employees. The next item is Resolution 2019-8, which is a tax abatement for Cox. And Mayor, if you'll give us a brief description of the tax abatement, please.
Yes, this is a tax abatement on an additional building at Cox. You see the total new building cost is just under $900,000. This will create about $400,000 a year in new payroll with 19 employees and an extra utility load. We're also working on some other things for an additional expansion that I hope to get with you on later. But this is exciting to see a local company grow and expand, and it's good for our community, it's good for our economy. So.
Good. Any questions for the mayor regarding the tax abatement?
I think it's worth mentioning, just for everyone's understanding, that tax abatements, that does not exclude taxes payable for our local schools.
Right. Anytime we do a tax abatement, it is only to abate the non-educational taxes. All property tax that goes to education is paid in full.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. Thank you, Mayor. With that, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
By Mr. Meeks, seconded by Mr. Jones. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is approved. Thank you. All right, the next item of business on the agenda is Resolution 2019-9, which is various grant applications for the Troy Fire Department. Chief Stevens?
Yes, sir. I'm here for asking approval to apply for 3 different grants. We're going to apply for some auto pulses through the Firehouse Subs grant, and there will be no city funds matched. The other two grants are going to be the Fire Act grant through FEMA, one for a tanker truck that's going to be over $300,000 plus, and that'll be a 5% match, and also a mobile cascade and rehab trailer, which is going to be in the range of 125 to 135, and that will also be a 5% match. And anytime any of those that get awarded, I will be back to ask permission to accept the award and maybe get some funding on the matches.
Always glad to hear departments come forward with grants. We appreciate that. Any questions or comments for Chief Stevens on the grant applications? Mayor, I know this comes with your approval to bring in extra money.
Absolutely.
Although, is there a motion on the floor by Ms. Baker, seconded by Mr. Jones? They were all coming at me at one time. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the resolution is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I need a sticker bar now, I think. All right. We do have an appointment this evening, and this will come as a recommendation from the executive committee to appoint Frank Murphy to the airport committee. With that, I guess is that a motion, Mr. Clerk, that came from? So do we need a second?
Second.
By Mr. Meeks. Any questions or comments regarding the appointment? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, Mr. Frank Murphy is appointed to the airport committee. Thank you. And with that, Mayor, that concludes our agenda items, and we welcome your report.
Obviously, we're still praying for all the folks down in the Panhandle and in Georgia and elsewhere that were so affected by the storm. Very glad that our crew got back today after almost 2 weeks away from their family. As Brian said earlier, they've basically got everybody on down there that they can get on. Just the devastation is unbelievable down there. I know there are a lot of groups that are working very hard to come up with supplies and things of that nature to get down there. It's been, it's certainly nice to see the generosity of the community toward those that were affected, because certainly, but for the grace of God, go us. So I appreciate everyone's patience in regards to the railroad crossings. That was something that caught us off guard, and I certainly appreciate everyone working together to try to limit that as much as we could. It's been a difficult situation. It's nearing completion, and so we've made contact with DOT and some others to hopefully, should something like this happen in the future, we'll be able to get a little further out ahead of it. And I appreciate them working with us to try to do that in the future. But again, I appreciate everyone's, and it has been a real problem along these crossings. I know your car really bounces on them, so hopefully once these are fixed, we'll be in good shape. I don't believe we'll meet again before Halloween. Certainly ask that everyone be very, very careful when they're out trick-or-treating. Please be mindful as you move around on the 31st. We don't want anybody to get hurt, so please use common sense and as you deal with that. But unless there are questions, that's about all I have.
Any questions from the council for the mayor? Hearing none, council member comments. Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, we'd like to just say thank you to our city crew that was being able to go down and lend a hand. We don't never know when we might need a hand. I also got a few things I would like to I want to thank, first of all, Mayor Reed with the Gibb Street and the 3 Knot Crossing there for the kids from Dunbar. I thank you for being instrumental in getting that one up and open back as fast as we did. I think it was down for a day.
Yes,
And I appreciate what you've done for you being instrumental in getting that done fast. Then for Mr. Johnson up at the Quick Freeze up there, we have a lot of, over on Railroad Avenue down there, we have a lot of seniors that was trapped down there in that back road. I don't know if a lot of you are familiar, but it's a little community, well, they're part of our city, but a lot of seniors live down in there. And with that crossing being down, they didn't have a way out. So Mr. Johnson, I think he's the senior supervisor over there, the Quick Freeze, Quick. And he did open up his gates so they can come out of that and go over to Gill. And we want to thank him for doing that for our seniors down that way. And District 1, I have to say, I'm trying to make myself more available to all of my constituents in District 1. I get a lot of phone calls, and sometimes I miss them. But I want to, on the 3rd Sunday of each month, I'm going to establish a, per se, office at 711 North 3 Knots. That's right across from the Piggly Wiggly. I will be there from 3:30 to 4:30, 3rd Sunday of each month. So I would welcome you to come and just come by and say hi, bring whatever you have, bring it up there and we can discuss it, and we'll bring it back to the council, and hopefully we can all work together and make District 1, District 2, 3, and 4, and 5 all machine for the city of Troy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Meeks?
Yes, I also would like to thank our dedicated utility crews going to Quincy to work. Appreciate the families letting them go also and being away from home. And I'm very thankful they returned home safely. Also, we have a ball game on TV tonight at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to be short.
Thank you. Ms. Baker?
2 things that are going on this weekend to be aware about. Troy Recycles Day, 8 a.m. to noon in the Lowe's parking lot. I get lots of requests throughout the year. What do I do with this and that? Check Facebook, the City of Troy page, Keep Troy Beautiful page. There are flyers going around, but the list is very, very long of things that they're going to be able to take. Electronics, there'll be a paper shredder there, bicycles, and they'll also be taking donations. So it's a great opportunity to clean out. Also Saturday, there's a kickball game at the Knox Street Fields, 10 to 1. It's for kids up to age 14, but they also need big kids and adults to help coach and cheer on. And this is, I don't know that it's necessarily a tournament, Dan, would you say? Is more of it's an opportunity for our community to gather and really just have some fun and enjoy some good weather. And I also would like to say thank you there's so many collection efforts that have been going on to collect supplies for Hurricane Michael relief. It makes me so proud that we have such a generous community. There is a truck that is parked, a trailer from Wiley Sanders Truck Lines that is parked at the Emporium. They will be taking donations from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. through the remainder of the week through Friday. So if you have anything that you would like to send, you can drop that off at the Emporium this week. That's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Moultrie?
Special cleanup, 2 more weeks for District 5. Let's take advantage of it. Reminder of the Thursday night meeting here for District 5 or any district. Anybody in the city can come. It doesn't matter. I'll bring it back to all of them anyway. But it's at 5:30 here at City Hall. So please come out. I've asked the mayor to just give me a short synopsis of everything that is going on in the city as it relates to employment or whatever we're doing in the city, so I can share that with everybody that night. So just anyone that'd like to come, and I want to personally get on film that I am inviting the chief of police to come. So maybe he'll be here. And I wanted to say that this Saturday down at Academy Street, you know, I think it's St. Joe was a part of Florida that was hit too. They're gonna have hot dogs and hamburgers and food, and they want you to bring some donations so they can take it to that part of Florida if anybody, to all, any of us that don't mind. And so I challenge my colleagues here to, you know, make a donation or do whatever you need to do. Tyrone don't need to hear that. And so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Briefly, because we do have an important game, if you're not watching it from your living room, come out to the square and do the, I guess it's tailgating on the square. It's a watch party. I know Leanne Wyndham and her volunteers and helpers have been doing a lot of work to get that ready so you can watch the game. Cheer on the Trojans out on the square tonight if you don't have plans to watch the game somewhere else. But Mayor, thank you for bringing up Halloween. It will happen before our next meeting, and I really want to overly stress to please be careful out there. A lot of young children running around in costumes with masks on that they don't see as good as they normally would without that covering their face, and it is dark, but just please be careful. There are neighborhoods that get a lot of traffic during this time, and that's fine. Just please be careful and please be aware of your surroundings. And for you trick-or-treaters, be aware of your surroundings and try not to run out in the street. And just please be careful. It's a festive time. It's a fun time for children, and let's make sure it stays fun and nobody's Halloween is marred by any kind of accident or tragic event. So please be careful of that. The other thing is, I know we'll have a veterans program on November the 9th, which will be before we meet again as well, out at the rec department. I believe it's where it is this year. And it's on November the 9th, and I think it's at 7:30, 8, not real sure. If you get there at 7, you're going to be early. I'll make sure you'll be the first one in line. Don't show up late because I may run out of food.
I'll add to that. I didn't realize that was going to happen before our next meeting. There's an entire Veterans Weekend celebration this year. So I know that it gets kicked off with the breakfast that the College Senior Complex always does a great job with. Friday morning, there is a documentary of local veterans that was actually produced by a local student that will be shown at the library following that breakfast. Saturday, there will be a celebration on the square that morning. And I know Monday, there will be the Bicentennial Park celebration and memorial service. So, but look for, this should be on social media. Jacob will get you some information for the newspaper, but it is the 100th anniversary of Armistice Day, so the city is making an increased effort to really celebrate our veterans that weekend.
Thank you, and really thank you for pointing that out. And the other I think big event for our community before our next meeting will be the Troy University Homecoming and our Troy Appreciation Day parade that morning on the square. So come out and have a good time that morning, and then make your way over to the stadium for the Troy University homecoming game and have a great time. So a lot of events happening in and around our city in the next few weeks, and hopefully everybody will participate. And with that, a motion to adjourn is always in order.
So moved.
Thank you. We are dismissed.
Okay.